Hey y'all. So let's chat it up. Let's chat it up. Let's chat it up. I'm so silly. So I just wanted to come on here and do a little chatting today. Um, I was just thinking about some things. So first I'm gonna tell y'all about my day, how it started. So this morning we wake up, me and my husband woke up and we were starting our morning routine up and everything. And, um, and he got bit by a catfish yesterday. So he got bit by a catfish, yesterday. And, I was asking him this morning, I was like, "Did you clean it off real good?" And he was like, "Yeah, I wash my hands, but I don't have to do that much to it because, you know, it's not really a big deal." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, yeah, it probably won't hurt you or nothing because I remember we used to eat catfish, so it's probably won't be that poisonous to you if you didn't wash your hands real good." And and he was like, "You could eat catfish now." And I was like, "No, we cannot eat catfish now." Even though we haven't ate catfish in years, y'all. Let's just get that clear. But he was like, "There's nothing wrong with that fish. You can eat that fish now." And I'm like, no, you can't eat that fish." And he was he was like, "How you gonna believe part of the Bible but don't believe the other part of the Bible?" I was like, "Oh, I believe the whole Bible." And he was like, "Well, you don't believe where the food was declared clean." I was like, "That literally never happened. That never happened." And I was like, "Bang, I have literally like came to you trying to talk to you about this so many times and you know this, and every time I don't know like if you wasn't listening to me or what, but every time it's ooh, I mean, I don't know, I'm like I already talked to you about this like a bunch of times that people misinterpreted that. Like I already showed you like how in the New International version how they write their interpretation in and all this other stuff. And he was like, "No, I need to see this for myself, whatever." And I was like, "Okay." But he told me he gonna prove to me where it says that at. I was like, "Okay, well, show me where it says that we can eat whatever we want to eat or whatever." And he pulled up some scriptures. I think he pulled up some scriptures in Mark. And he showed me in Mark where it was saying that whatever goes within through a man's mouth and into his belly shall not defile a man, but it's whatever is in a man's heart that shall defile a man or whatever. And I'm like, "Babe, you gotta read that whole thing. Like, you gotta read that whole thing because they was not even talking about what kind of meat can you eat or can't eat. They were literally talking about um they basically were saying that the man could not eat with dirty hands. So they were saying he broke a law because he was eating with dirty hands or whatever. They wasn't even talking about what kind of food you can eat and can't eat. And if it's in your heart to break the commandment of the most high, then that's wicked because it's in your heart to break the commandment of the most high. So he said whatever is in your heart is what matters. And if it's in your heart to break that commandment, then that matter. Then I also was telling him about, and also when the Messiah, when he came back, he already had said that he came not to change not one pin drop of the law. Not one pin drop of the law will change. And he was like, "Oh, you're getting too excited. You doing too much." Like, and I'm like, "Oh my God." So at that moment, I'm like, just calm down. Just calm down because if I keep getting too excited, then he's not gonna even be interested in even looking into this himself. So I calmed down. I'm like, "Okay, babe, just just read it for yourself. And I don't care if you believe me or not. That's gonna be between you and the Most High, whether you believe me or not. I don't care." So, anyways, he go to reading it, and then he say, "Look, right here, it say declaring all foods clean." I said, "What version is that?" He said, "This the King James version." And they said, this the new King James Version. I said, New King James Version? What? So yeah, so then he was like, "Oh yeah, this." And that." I was like, "Here go." I was like, "Look, I got this Bible right here. Here go the King James version right here. I had the book. I've been holding on to it. I be reading out the C for most of the time, but I keep the King James version regular Bible too. I got that too. So I'm like, look, here you go right here. Here go the King James version. So, anyways, he get the King James version and he sit down and he just read it and read it and read it and read it and read it. And then he was like, "Bae, you right." He was like, basically, they was trying to like mix their law with the commandments. The law and the commandment are two different things. It's kind of like the same things they try to do nowadays, how they try to mix the law and the commandments. He even said that they are up this is everything he's telling me. He was like he even said right here that they're upholding the traditions of man and laying aside the commandments of the most high. And he read it all and he came to this conclusion. And I'm like, yeah, okay, yes, yes. Thank you, Most High. Because after he told me I was getting all too excited and stuff, I was just like, Father, yeah, please just give him the understanding and what he's reading right now. You know, I mean, because he pushed me into some things that I completely just want to say no to, and I push him into some things that he completely just want to say no to. That is what a union, a partnership is for. We encourage each other. We keep each other on the right path. Um. Anyways, he was like, "Yeah, babe, that's true," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's so much stuff. Why would they even?" Then we was just talking after that, and I'm like, yeah, why would he even come up with a new King James version when there's already a King James version, unless they want to cause confusion? And then not only that, all of these new versions, like just stay away from anything that say new, okay? New, stay away from it. Just stay away from it. But anyways, and then I was also telling him about how in the King James version you can find in there where they will say that the Most High name was Jah with a J. That's in there one time in the King James Version. And even though I know it's Yah with a Y, but I'm just speaking in context right now how they even took that out. So, anyways, they had Jah in there with a J one time in the King James Version. And then in the New International Version, they even changed that to Lord or God. They even took that out. Like, why would they remove these things if they're not trying to cause confusion? Like, one thing that I realize is that um the Bible it don't contradict itself at all, you know? It don't contradict itself at all. And I was also telling him about I'm not trying to believe one part of the Bible. Some people ain't gonna like this, but I'm like, that's what the Christians do. They the ones want to believe one part of the Bible, but not the rest. I believe the whole Bible, the whole thing. I believe the whole thing. I don't throw away the Old Testament. I don't throw away the New Testament. I don't throw none of it away. All of it got valid information that keeps me on the right path. It always gives me amazing advice anytime I'm going through anything or not going through anything. But especially those times when I'm going through something, especially when I'm being spiritually attacked, boy, I open up the word and the word just it's like the most high just turns me to the right pages and the word just speaks to my soul and tell me how to move in those situations, you know. And one thing that I learned is, in everything, you just got to keep praying. Like every battle, you have to pray. You don't like if you are in a stressful situation right now where you're around a person or a thing that you cannot necessarily not be around because I was around some family members at a time, and when I was around those family members, I felt like I was being spiritually attacked, you know. But anyways, you cannot you when you pray about that situation one time and you see the day goes better, you better wake up the next morning and pray again because you don't just pray one time and just forget about the Most High. You got to keep on praying, and that's the same thing. What I noticed. I don't want to get the names mixed up, but when I was reading the Book of Jasher, I don't know if that was that Jacob and his sons. I believe that was Jacob and his sons. It's Yaakov in the Sefer Bible, but I believe that was Jacob and his sons, where when they were battling different tribes and different people, every new battle that they entered, they had to keep going back to the Most High. It was even some times where where they didn't pray before the battle and they were losing the battle, and then they'll go to the Most High and pray, and then they'll start winning the battle. Like they'll be almost dead, and then they'll go to the Most High, and then they'll win the battle. So that's how I move in my real life too. So anytime somebody come for me, I'm like, come on with it. Do you want this battle with the Most High? Because that's who I'm gonna go to on you. That's who I'm gonna go to on you. I'm not gonna battle with you. I'm not gonna battle. I'm not gonna battle with you because you want that weak little battle for me. You want that weak little battle for me, but you don't want that smoke from the Most High. You don't want that smoke from the Most High. I don't battle with people. I don't. I don't because I know that's gonna take away my armor. Me taking vengeance into my own hands is gonna take my armor away from me, especially if it's like somebody thinking that they're gonna be toxic. I'll just say toxic towards me in different ways, you know. Um I had a situation recently where a family member that I was always very close with, as a matter of fact, we was always very close, you know, but I would say I completely stopped celebrating all holidays, birthdays, all of it about 3 or 4 years ago. 3 or 4 years ago, I stopped celebrating all of it. I already had stopped celebrating holidays even before that. I would say about 5 years I stopped celebrating holidays, and then with the birthdays, I start thinking I was looking at different things and stuff, and then I couldn't help but find it in my heart to agree with it that most birthday celebrations are just self-worship. Like, just look at how people act when it comes time for their birthday. They say my day. Oh, you created a day? Oh, you woke yourself up today? Oh, you allowed yourself to complete another year of life. Oh, okay. Mm, interesting. I didn't know that. So just look at how people act when it comes times for their birthday. You could tell that they're worshiping themselves. I don't need no recognition on my birthdays. I don't need no recognitions on no holidays. I'm not giving myself no day. I'm not gonna feel any type of way if you don't call me and say happy birthday. This is not my day. I'm happy all in itself that the Most High allowed me to complete a new year. Now, I would say for years I was extremely strict with it, probably a little bit over strict to the point where I would just completely ignore you on your birthday because I knew you expected something. So I just completely avoided you on that day because I didn't want to participate in you worshiping yourself. So basically, I would completely just avoid you on that day. You wouldn't hear from me. Definitely not gonna hear me call you saying happy birthday and nothing like that. But recently I did decide that I could at least acknowledge that to them that I'm thankful that the Most High blessed them with a new year. I can acknowledge that I'm thankful that the Most High blessed them with a new year. So anyways, this particular person, they know that I don't celebrate nothing, but every time every holiday come up, they'll call me a lot, even if I try to ignore their calls or whatever, they'll keep calling me. And then as soon as I pick up the phone, they'll just keep talking to me about that holiday, like just keep on like they want to get up under my skin and stuff. And I'm like, that does not irritate me. That's something you have to deal with the most high. And basically, one time they sent me a picture of their child's gift that they're getting their child for Christmas or whatever. And I just didn't reply. And when I spoke to them, they said, "Oh, did you get the picture of my child's gift that I sent you?" And I said, "Oh, yeah, I got it, but I didn't reply because I don't celebrate those holidays. So, um, I don't want to participate in any type of conversations about gifts that you're giving your child for that holiday because I have to worry about how the Most High will judge me. Those are my beliefs, and I just ask that you respect that." So, anyways, they try to argue with me about it a little bit about oh, but it's for the kids and all this other stuff they try to argue me about, and I'm like, listen, I'm not going to go against the Most High for nobody. Period. I'm not going against the Most High for nobody. I'm not about to be in a judgment seat because I had to tell your child um I had to go and celebrate Christmas with you and your kids or whatever. I'm not going to be in a judgment seat for those reasons. Like, no, 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 I'm not doing it. Anyways, it just kept escalating over time with them just keep calling me every time a holiday come up, Halloween. Oh, such gonna be this Halloween, such gonna be this Halloween. And I'm just sitting there like not even responding, but they still just keep calling me, just like. And one thing they never realize is that does not irritate me. That don't irritate me. That's something you're gonna have to deal with the Most High. That's probably why you're feeling so miserable in your spirit right now, because the Most High has to bless you with joy, with real joy. So that's probably why you're so miserable in your spirit right now that you want me to feel your pain. You can't make me feel your pain because the Most High gave me joy. The Most High gave me happiness, and you can't take it from me. You cannot take it from me. You cannot have it. Okay, anyways, y'all. So the time came when this person had got into a hard situation where their spouse was basically not there for a period of time or whatever, and they had to go through like a lot of things at that time, and I helped them. I was helping them daily, but then it got to the point where it seemed like they were just like trying to see how much they can bug me to aggravate me and how much I will continue to say yes. Just like they thought they became entitled in a way because I had helped them so much. They became entitled to my help to the point where they just started getting outright ridiculous to the point where it was just straight up insulting. Some like the way they were calling me and asking me for stuff, it was just getting straight insulting. So I said I'm gonna finish out the last thing that I told them that I would do, and then I'm done with them. I'm done with them. So basically, um, right before I had finished out, no, 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 no. This was the conversation I had with them. What made me come up with that thought because I had already started ignoring them somewhat. And then I picked up the phone, and then they asked me to do something else. So I'm like, yeah, I'll go ahead and do that or whatever. And in my mind, I'm like, yeah, this is the last thing I'm gonna do for them. I'm done with them. But then they tried to guilt me for not picking up the phone and being on there every beck and call. They tried to guilt me by saying, "Oh, um, yeah, I need to talk and express myself to people. I'm glad that my friends have been there for me because we're family. So they trying to say, oh, my family haven't even been there for me, but it was I'm glad that my friends have been there for me, to support me during my time of need. And I'm like, that's good for you. But I told him, I said, one thing you're gonna have to realize in life is that when you're when you're going through something and you're reaching out to other people, they will not always understand what you're going through. Sometimes they'll even make you feel worse about whatever it is you're going through. So you got to learn how to go within to heal. You got to learn how to go within. And they were like, no, 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 I go out, I go out, I go out. And I'm like, oh, okay. You won't be going out to me though. But anyways, they're like, no, 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 I go out. And I'm like, oh, okay, okay, you go out. Uh, anyways, they thought they was gonna keep talking, but I'm like, listen, I gotta cook dinner, I gotta go. So got off the phone with them, and then basically after that, I ain't pick up the phone for them no more, cause I'm like, listen, if you hate me so much, and I'm helping you because I love you and I care about you, and you hate me, you for some reason you got some type of hate in your heart towards me. If you hate me so much, then I usually don't stay in the presence of those that hate me because, those type of people can get dangerous. I don't care who they are. You know what I mean? So, anyways, I stopped picking up for them. So, yeah, I was completely done with the whole situation. Um, so basically, I would say about a month and a half later, I ended up having a dream about this person, and I usually, I can tell most of my dreams are just subconscious, thinking or whatever, you know what I mean? But this dream seemed a little bit different, you know what I mean? Uh Basically, I had dreamed that we were it was like 10 people or whatever, and we were all like in this building, and everybody was like in their own room, and everybody had on like virtual headsets, and basically what they seen in their virtual universe, they thought that it was real because they had on the virtual headsets, and what they seen in their virtual universe was whatever they were addicted to. So whatever their addictions was what they were in the virtual universe. And basically, if they didn't realize that something wasn't right or that they did not want to be in that addiction within, I think it was about 10 minutes. I think they had about 10 minutes to realize that they did not want to be in that addiction, whatever it was, whether you were addiction to food, drugs, whatever it was, you had about 10 minutes to realize that you didn't want to be in that addiction before your head explode. And it was some people heads exploding, you know what I mean? Some people was coming out like they made it out. So I saw my sister come out. She came out. I had came out. I saw my sister come out, and then this person, this particular family member, I didn't see them come out. I didn't see them come out, so I knew that their time was running down. So I ran around and I was looking for them everywhere, just trying to help shake them out of it or whatever. So anyways, I finally found them, and then one of my other family members had helped me to like shake them out of it or whatever. Like we was like trying to shake them out of it, and then we finally shook them out of it. And basically, when they came out of it, they just put their head down, and they were just crying and crying and crying. And at first, and my cousin that came with me was trying to comfort them, and I didn't at first. I was sitting back like this because I was like, yeah, they just faking, probably probably just on some more scamming stuff. Ain't no telling, at first I didn't, but then they're hurt. I felt their hurt. You know what I mean? I felt their hurt. So eventually I comforted them too, and I'm like, it's okay. Anyways, So the day I had that dream, I felt like I needed to call them, I felt like I needed to call them, even though I had not spoke with them in a while, um, a month and a half, and I was speaking to them about every day at first. So I called them to see how they were doing or whatever. And basically they start talking to me and we were just chopping it up about what's been going on in both of our lives or whatever. And they told me that they were talking I didn't tell them my dream just yet. They were just talking to me. And hold on. So yeah, I didn't tell them my dream just then. So basically they were telling me that they started they were talking to one of their friends the other day about they're having a trouble starting to have issues with drinking. It's starting to because they said they used to drink when they usually drink, they drunk because they wanted to, but they said they had found themselves the night before feeling like they needed a drink. And they said that they went out, and got the drink and everything, but, it was just something like they just didn't feel right because they felt like they needed that drink. And, and, basically, they said that they starting to feel like they starting to drink too much or whatever. So, anyways, I had, told them about my dream or whatever, and, they were really able to relate, because that's basically what they were going through. They felt like they was slipping into a alcohol addiction. They felt like they was almost slipping into an alcohol addiction because it was starting to feel like a need other than a want. Um, and because they said they was going through so much and they had so much on them. Um, so basically we had talked about that and everything, and then they had did a lot of stuff to me before we stopped talking, so it felt like they were trying to explain that in a covert way, like they were trying to say stuff like, "Everybody know I'm aggravated, and I've been aggravated since a child." And I'm kind of just thinking like, okay, whatever, aggravating don't excuse emotional abuse, because when you call people that love and care about you and you try to emotionally abuse them, there's no excuse for that. But I really didn't call them out at the moment or whatever. But they said a couple of things like that or whatever. And then they tried to explain that they were a happy person because they know that at this point I'm probably thinking they're not a happy person because of how they treated me. You know what I mean? So they try to explain that, I'm still a happy person. I know I'm a happy person. I've been a happy person all my life. I never said they was. I didn't tell them they wasn't a happy person, but they was like, I've been a happy person all my life. I'm a happy person, but it feels like there's something in there that just feels dark. And they did tell me that. And I told them, basically, we none of us, especially when you come from a rough background, you don't get through that unscathed. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna have some issues that you gotta work through. Every day is not gonna be good, but you just can't give up. You gotta keep on working to be a better you every day, because you're not gonna be perfect, and every day don't have to you like it's not like you have to be permanently happy. You know what I mean? Because when you get that mindset that you're not allowed to be sad, you're not allowed to have other emotions outside of happiness, then that's when you become toxic because you're basically ignoring your other emotions, or you're not allowing yourself to feel those emotions and process those emotions. Um anyways, y'all. So that's about all I want to talk about today. I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. Alright, bye.